Hello and welcome to the Federal. With the Maharashtra elections just around the corner, the fate of Chief Minister Eknath Shinde will be decided. The mandate of the people will not just decide the next Chief Minister, but also which of the two Shiv Sena and NCP have the support of the people. To decode the upcoming polls, we have with us Dr. Mrudul Neele. He is a professor at Mumbai University and a political analyst. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Neele.
Thank you. Thank you, Gyan. Thank you very much.
So my first question is the BJP leadership was on the back foot during the Haryana election, but it managed to overturn the elections and win. Do you think the momentum is now after the Haryana? Now the momentum is with the BJP now or the NDA in Maharashtra?
See, to be very honest with you, what happened is the moment, or maybe just before the Haryana elections, I was in Delhi and I was trying to understand what's happening in Delhi. And most of the people in from Haryana, they were of the opinion that no, it will be a one-side win for Congress. These were absolutely different. These results were absolutely different, and we, or rather, I mean, you can say that this was not expected by even the Congress. Okay, but then we know what happened and what were the problems about Congress losing over there and the kind of votes that the second candidate got and how the entire thing transpired. Now, here in Maharashtra, I don't think so that that will. Now, after, let's say, in last 2.5 years, what has happened is the political parties are absolutely clearly split into two compartments. Okay, so the rivalry that you have, I mean, be it Shiv Sena, be it NCP, but then you know that there's a clear divide between the candidates. And the third front that is emerging, okay, with Bachchu Kadu and all those kind of other leaders, I don't think so that that's going to garner that much of support, because the sentiments of the people over here in Maharashtra, and there are 2 to 3 terms that I would like to use. I mean, in the last election also, the term that was used or coined by, say, the India Alliance was Maharashtra Dharma. Okay, so I mean, it is not talking about a particular religious consciousness based on which a lot of voting used to happen prior to this. But then a lot of secularization of voting has been happening, and wherein you're talking about something called as the Maharashtra Dharma. Okay, so that kind of thing is emerging. The second very important thing is Maharashtra is not. I mean, this particular phenomena of split in the last during the last dispensation. This particular split was absolutely, we can say that people did not like this split, or Maharashtra is not used to this kind of politics. Okay, and therefore you find that in the Lok Sabha elections also you find that, I mean, the kind of seats that the India Alliance got was absolutely different. Okay, and something that the BJP or the alliance with BJP, including Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde, you find that they could not really control this particular mass upsurge that people had shown. Okay, in fact, I had traveled to some of these places like Nandurbar and all those kind of places, and I tried to understand what is the sentiment of the people. And when I went to Nandurbar is a hilly area with a lot of tribal population around. You find people literally pouring from different parts of the district, coming for a particular, I mean, Priyanka Gandhi's rally. And on that particular day, I mean, I spoke to some of my friends here in Mumbai, and I told them that, I mean, it is sure shot this particular seat goes to, let's say, Congress. So when so this is the momentum that is already set, and this particular election was not, I mean, after Lok Sabha, this becomes very important. The second very important thing is the progressive nature of Maharashtra. Okay, I always say that be it the social reform movement, or be it the progressive politics that we are talking about, or the policy processes also. I mean, let's take, for example, if you're talking about policy process, you're basically talking in terms of, let's say, the Manrega. So for the first time, Manrega was launched in Maharashtra, and then the central government took it with them, and then it was launched nationally later on under Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. So if you're looking at this particular, this expanse of a progressive policy, progressive society, and progressive politics, okay, you find that this is a different, what should I say, it's a different game altogether for Maharashtra. And therefore, I'm not of the opinion that I'm not very, I'm not sure, or I'm sure that this thing, whatever happened in Haryana, will not be repeated in Maharashtra at all.
The BJP NDA combined did not perform very well in the Lok Sabha polls in Maharashtra.
Yeah.
And the combination of the three parties could not work out their differences. How significant are the assembly polls for BJP and also for the other two alliance partners?
See, for BJP, this particular poll is very important. Now, what has happened is BJP is always playing a younger brother role in last whatever 2.5 years since Eknath Shinde has been the chief minister of this particular state. Okay, Devendra Fadnavis, he has accepted the 2-number position, that is the deputy chief minister's position. Okay, which was not so. I mean, in spite of the fact that this particular party has majority seats in the house, yet he is on the back foot. Now, if you look at the seat sharing, okay, seat sharing formula that they have come up with, you find that BJP is fielding the largest number of candidates. If I'm not wrong, yesterday they said that around 155 candidates will be contesting from the BJP. So again, the largest contingent comes from the BJP in this particular alliance as well. So when you look at this particular alliance, it automatically, I mean, what we can say is that this particular alliance is very important for BJP, and I will say to some extent that BJP will continue to, or will try to, retain the chief minister's position in this.
The Maharashtra poll is also a personal battle for Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, who wants to prove a point that his party is the real Shiv Sena in the eyes of people. The same is the case for Mr. Ajit Pawar, who could not win even a single seat in the Lok Sabha.
Correct.
So how do you
Correct.
look at this personal battles of these two leaders of India?
No, see, I mean, see, when it comes to Shiv Sena is a very different political party. I mean, though we find that the symbol has been given to Eknath Shinde, the chief minister. The original symbol of party has been given to Eknath Shinde. You still find that the sentiments of the people. Where are the sentiments of the people? Because the entire politics of Shiv Sena revolves around the party head or party boss. In this case, the entire Maharashtra, I think a lot of them side with the Thackeray family, and from that point of view, okay, it is so elections is all about consent. Election is all about recognition of people to a particular faction of that particular political party. So the basic concern that Eknath Shinde says that, I mean, whatever the natural alliance that they had with BJP, that should have been continued. Unfortunately, what happens is Uddhav Thackeray is of the opinion that he was not treated at par with the BJP, or he was given a secondary treatment, and that is the reason why he wanted to go away from BJP, and he joined with Sharad Pawar and the Congress. Okay, that is how they look at. But then the basic of this particular party, and what in fact Eknath Shinde has been talking about, is that this is predominantly a Hindutva party. Okay, whereas Uddhav Thackeray has been now playing a reformist role, and he brings that particular role. I don't know what people from Maharashtra they say is that Prabodhankar Thackeray's grandfather was a reformer in this particular state, and therefore you find you find certain aspects of Balasaheb Thackeray, and you find certain aspects of Prabodhankar Thackeray also in him. And during his administration also, you generally find that it was more of a reformist and little soft, going soft on, earlier whatever their stance were on Muslims, going a little soft on that. In fact, if you recollect, during the during the COVID, when a lot of people gathered at, say, Bandra terminus, a lot of North Indian Muslims gathered at Bandra terminus. They said that, no, you don't worry, you don't have to go anywhere and you don't have to panic. Your chief minister is sitting here. And that is how later on you have this new alliance of people, that is Muslim and Maratha alliance, that really comes to play. One more very important thing that we need to understand over here is that this particular party predominantly was a party from Konkan region. Okay, it began in Maharashtra, it began in Mumbai, and the entire Konkan region is its clientele base. So the Konkani Marathi Manus who is staying in the chawls in Mumbai, who came here as a worker. Okay, so this particular class of people have been with the Shiv Sena. So obviously, and when you find that leaders like Eknath Shinde, okay, when Eknath Shinde leaves a particular party and forms or shows that this particular party is the real party, so the people, okay, who always pledged their allegiance to the Thackeray family, they always will remain with that particular Thackeray family. And that is the reason why you find that a lot of people are of the opinion, should we go back to Thackeray, to the Thackeray group, because it becomes because they feel that it would be very difficult for them to contest this particular election in this kind of an environment.
Maratha agitation has been going on in Maharashtra for the past few years now, for the past couple of years, and it did have an impact during the Lok Sabha elections. We can also understand that there was counter polarization of OBC votes against the Maratha agitation. So how will that impact the NDA or India alliance in this assembly polls?
See, I mean, if you look at these two factions, one is Maratha and the other one is the OBC. Okay, let us try and understand it in a more political terms. So it is not just a Maratha agitation for reservation, which began in 2018, and where you had almost 56 silent morchas talking about asking for three very important demands. Of them, one demand which was very important, that was employment in public services, and second was reservation in public service employment, and second one was reservation in the higher educational institutions. Public higher education institutions. These were the two very solid demands that the Marathas came up with. Okay, but unfortunately, what happened is, I mean, since we have seen that different political parties, like earlier also, they said that we'll be giving you 16% reservation, but when it went to the Supreme Court had stuck down, saying that this will not go well. The second very important thing is the OBC faction now coming and is just posed with the Maratha, and they're also asking for this particular reservation, is coming from the Vanzari community. It is coming from the Dhangar community. Dhangar community is asking for it. Now, earlier, when Gopinath Rao Munde was there, at that time, there was this very important caste cluster that they had imagined. What we talk as demographic imagination. In that demographic imagination, we saw that there was this Mali, Dhangar, and Vanzari. That is Madhav community. Mali, Dhangar, and Vanzari. That particular formula, okay, is with BJP right from the beginning. Okay, and therefore, if you look at the leaders going to to meet these two factions, they go from these two political units, you can say, either from MVA or the other one. So those kind of things we generally find. So therefore, but certainly now what happens is, I mean, you have to look at the numerical strength of these two groups. The first group is Maratha group, which approximately is about 31-32% of Maharashtra's population. So obviously they are they have whatever they can think of. I mean, that they have that numerical strength with them. The second population, that is the Dhangar and the Mali and this other community plus the Brahmins. Okay, that particular population constitutes about 27, 28, 29%. Okay, depending upon how the polling goes, okay, you find that this particular thing will play an important role. But again, what happens is, the two people, the two other groups, that is, one is Dalits and the other one is Muslims. Okay, where do they stand? Again, and the role of Prakash Ambedkar, what role Prakash Ambedkar plays, okay, in this particular election, that will also be very important to see. Also, if you see the MIM, the role of MIM, how MIM is playing, because MIM is now contesting the by-elections of Nanded. Okay, so when you're looking at this particular caste formula, you generally find that the what we say demographic imagination of electoral politics, I mean, how well this particular consciousness works, and therefore I feel that wherever that finally what will happen is Maratha, Muslim, Dalit. So this particular cluster will determine this particular election. Yeah. Yeah.
And my last question is, it seems that Mr. Eknath Shinde is the chief minister at present, but the chair is still open for discussion on the basis of performance in the assembly polls. What are the prospects of Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, who first became chief minister and then deputy chief minister? Do you think BJP is looking at the post of CM?
Of course, I mean, that is the reason why they're fielding about 155 candidates. Okay, and the non-performers, they are again very clear about non-performers. So today's Hindu says that about 71 of them are will be repeating their performance now again. I mean, they'll be contesting again, and there are a lot of them who are not sure whether they'll be getting that particular seat. Okay, when they had contested last, and if you look at the incoming in both these particular groups, okay, you find that the incoming is more with Sharad Pawar or Congress or Uddhav Thackeray. Okay, whereas the incoming over here is not as much as that of the other group, MVA, right? So from that point of view, you need to understand as to where the entire thing is going. I mean, I was expecting one very important question as to what happens with these schemes that they had come up with, like the Ladki Behen or Ladki Behna or Ladki Bahin, okay, that we call. Now, see, in this particular scheme also, I mean, a lot of women, okay, they are getting 1,500 rupees per month. But, you know, the question is, now that particular scheme is stopped, progressively they feel that they'll be getting something, and immediately you find that something has stopped in between. Okay, so therefore that will not play an important role. I mean, though in last whatever time, in last whatever months, we find that these people have distributed a lot of money to these Ladki Bahin or Ladki Bahin Yojana. But then I don't think so that it will give that kind of impact. I mean, 10-15% here and there, that's it. But then they cannot depend completely on women votes. When I told you that, when you have this whole population of Maratha Jarange Patil, campaigning against against Eknath Shinde and very specifically Devendra Fadnavis. Okay, so that is on the one hand, and on the other hand, you find that these women, how much say will they have during elections? That is also very important to be understood. Okay, so therefore, so therefore, it will be a very critical elections at this point of time. But at this point of time, what I see is, the Mahavikas Aghadi is scoring above the BJP and factions.
If we look at the Lok Sabha data assembly segment wise, NDA was leading in 137 constituencies in assembly segments, and India Alliance was leading in 151 assembly segments. So there is a very little gap between the two alliances. In terms of when we look at the assembly election, how close could the election be?
No, see, as you very rightly said, that the gap that is 137 and 150 is a huge gap. Okay, first of all. Secondly, post this Ladki Bahin Yojana, you find that the inflation has gone up. Okay, day before yesterday I was in Nasik and I was talking to some common people, people with Agriculture Credit Society and all these kind of people. And what they said is, what oil that they used to get in 110 rupees is now 140, or the chilies, the green chilies, they would cost about, say, 100 rupees kg, which used to be about 40 rupees kg at one point. Okay, the inflation has risen so much that the common man is feeling that he's affected by this particular thing. So it's not that, I'm absolutely, I don't say that Ladki Bahin Yojana is not correct, but then if they're giving Ladki Bahin Yojana, they should have controlled the inflation. If they would have controlled inflation, probably they would have got better chances, they would have had better chances to deal with this particular situation. But at this point of time, the farmers are also unhappy. Okay, now you will say that Haryana is a bastion of farmers and the entire farmer movement took place over there. But then the farmer over there and the farmer over here is different. Okay, that particular farmer is a very rich farmer. Over here, it's not like that. Here it is. Here you have maybe medium farmers, or or certain other people who are practicing subsistence agriculture and those kind of things. People are living hand to mouth. Okay, and in such a huge state like Maharashtra, with a lot of diversities of Western Maharashtra different, then you have Marathwada, which is absolutely different. So you find that culturally, socially, economically, politically, there are different waves, and it is not possible for them to bring everything and give a umbrella kind of a status, which happened in Haryana. This cannot happen over here. So Marathas will be different from a Western Maharashtra Maratha. Okay, so we need to understand that, and therefore, it is not possible that Haryana or Haryana thing will be repeated here in Maharashtra.